Cape buffalo versus lion. The bloody revolt of prey. Dawn falls on the Serengeti, an endless sea of grass bathed in a fiery golden light. The early wind carries the moist scent of the earth, mixed with the smell of burnt grass and traces of the night's hunting. On the horizon, thousands of migratory birds tear through the mist, revealing a vivid picture of wild nature. In the distance, the ground shakes. Herds of black Cape buffalo moved like a giant waterfall in the sea of grass. Each heavy step on the dry ground caused red dust to rise, wrapping around their horns and backs like a warrior's armor. The sound of hundreds of hooves mixed with the resounding roar, signaling the beginning of a new journey of survival. On the high mounds, golden shadows were hiding. The lions, the rulers of the Serengeti, silently watched. In this majestic and cruel place of nature, all life had to be paid for in blood. The sun was high in the sky over the Serengeti, pouring fire into the sea of burning yellow grass. The air was thick with heat, each wave of heat rising as if distorting the horizon. The herd of Cape buffalo was advancing across the grasslands, a giant army with the power of pure violence. Their curved horns reflected the sunlight. Their deep black eyes glittered with vigilance. In the distance, the grass shook slightly. One golden shadow appeared, then two, then three. The lionesses were hiding in the grass, moving slowly like shadows sliding across the ground. The buffalo herd did not know that death was lurking right before their eyes. The lion's muscles were coiled, each muscle tensed under its golden fur. It chose a young buffalo that had just broken away from the line. The air was as tense as a bowstring. Then, in that moment of absolute silence, the lions charged out. The rebellion exploded on the moon. On the ground, the young buffalo lay motionless, its body covered in dust and wounds. The whole herd stopped. No one left. The adult buffaloes approached, silent. When a Cape buffalo died, the herd often returned to the spot where it fell, standing around in silence for minutes. Even hours. They did not roar, did not leave immediately. They just stood there, as if remembering and warning that death was always very near. The Cape buffalo herd moved slowly, steadily, as if there had never been blood and tears of yesterday. On that journey, they had lost, fought, bled to survive. But it was in hardship that the herd became stronger, more resilient. Each scar was a memory, each step a reminder that life never stops, no matter how fierce nature. As the sun stretched across the backs of the black buffalo herd, disappearing into the horizon, the Serengeti returned to its eternal rhythm, a cycle where today's survivors become tomorrow's legends. Behind the herd of Cape buffalo, which was slowly disappearing into the horizon, the earth began to shake again. Another sound echoed, deeper and thicker, like the heartbeat of the entire savanna. From afar, waves of red dust rose in columns. Thousands of black shadows followed the endless movement of the wildebeest herd. They followed the path of their ancestors, following the rain, towards the new grasslands of the Serengeti. No map, no guide, only the survival instinct ingrained through thousands of generations. Their journey stretched for hundreds of kilometers, across rivers, across death, where only a fraction of them could reach their destination. In the sky, vultures began to circle. On the ground, crocodiles lay in ambush in the murky river. And as the herd entered the water, the Serengeti prepared to write a new chapter in the cycle of life and death. Wildebeests are known as the tireless travelers of the savannah, symbols of the endless journey between life and death. With their heavy bodies, sloping shoulders, large heads covered with curved horns, and sad eyes that seem to be etched with time, they have a rough but durable appearance. On the Serengeti savanna, wildebeests survive not by strength, but by perseverance and solidarity. They move in huge herds, sometimes numbering more than 1 million individuals, rolling like living waves in a sea of golden grass. Each of their steps shakes the ground. Each breath harmonizes with the pulse of the entire African ecosystem. They chase rain, the only miracle that can keep this land alive. When the new grass grows, the herds move relentlessly, crossing rivers, crossing swamps where crocodiles, lions, and hyenas always wait. The Serengeti sun hangs high in the white sky. The air was thick, red dust rising in waves as thousands of wildebeests were advancing towards the riverbank. Their voices merged into a dull hum, the sound of life moving. In front of them was the Mara River, a river that carried both hope and death. The water was murky, swirling violently. Beneath the waves, giant shadows were silently crawling. Roughbacks, like ancient stone shells, quietly drifted close to the surface of the water, barely causing a ripple. The Nile crocodile, an ancient predator that has existed for over 100 million years, has remained almost unchanged since the beginning of life. Over 5 meters long, its bite power far surpasses that of any land predator. Just one bite is enough to crush the bones of an adult buffalo. They do not need to hurry. Crocodiles are masters of patience. Lying motionless for hours, even days, just waiting for a moment of carelessness from their prey. Under the still water, the golden eyes open slightly, the water's tongue licking the jagged teeth. On the river's surface, the sunset shone down, reflecting those eyes like two burning coals. And when the first hooves hit the water, the hunt began. On the shore, the antelopes hesitated. Their deep black eyes stared down at the water, where the light reflected like blades. Behind, the herd continued to surge, creating a huge pressure. Unable to stop, unable to turn back, only able to move forward. A mature male dove first. The water burst, and like an invisible signal, the whole herd poured down like a flood. The chaotic sound of water, the sound of hooves, the screams of fear and instinct echoed. From under the water, giant jaws opened. Crocodiles rushed up, biting. As the sun slowly disappeared behind the trees, the last individuals set foot on the other bank. Their bodies were covered in mud and scratches. Their breathing was heavy, but their eyes were still bright, the gaze of those who had exchanged their lives for survival. On the surface of the river, the foam was still boiling, and at the bottom, the crocodiles returned to their ambush position. Because they knew, in just a few days, another herd would come. After the fierce journey, the Serengeti welcomed a new dawn. The new grass grew green after the first rains of the season, signaling the beginning of the breeding season. On the savannah, thousands of pregnant wildebeest were nearing birth. Without nests, without shelter, in the vast sea of grass, they gave birth in the open air, quickly, neatly, and instinctively. In just a few minutes, a new creature was born, covered in dirt and mist, trembling as it stood up in the early morning light. It is the most fragile moment of life. In less than 10 minutes, the calf must stand up and run with the herd, or it will become a meal for the vultures, hyenas, or cheetahs lurking in the grass. Across the Serengeti, the first calves take their first steps, blending into the tall grass. Their weak cries blend with the calls of the herd, creating a song of survival that spreads across the savanna where death has just receded and life has begun again. The journey across the river has ended, but a new cycle of survival has begun, an eternal circle where nature is constantly reborn and life continues to write its story. The Serengeti sun has just risen, pale yellow light penetrating the thin mist, shining on the sea of grass still wet with night dew. The wildebeest calves stand up, their small legs trembling but their eyes already shining before the vast world. Every new life is a miracle of life. But in the midst of that beauty, danger still lurks. From the tall grass, a dark shadow moves. Sharp ears stand upright, eyes sharp as knives. A lone female hyena is in ambush. It doesn't need to chase for long, just wait for a weak moment. A cub stumbles, a wrong step. And the opportunity comes. A baby antelope staggers, falls, its legs still not used to the ground. The hyena rushes out like lightning. The breath of death approaches. But at that moment, a roar rings out from behind. The mother antelope turns around. Her maternal instinct burns stronger than her fear. Not daring to take risks, the hyena hisses softly and disappears into the grass. Leaving behind the rapid breathing of the mother and her cub. The calf stood up trembling, snuggling close to its mother. Its eyes were still wide open. Reflecting the early morning sun. On the sunny plain, the wind rustled through the sea of grass. The danger had passed, but the journey continued. In a world where death always lurks, maternal love still rules the savannah, a power that no predator can subdue. The sun gradually set in the west. The sunset stretched across the Serengeti sea of grass, dyeing the world a golden red like blood and fire. The herd of wildebeest moved slowly across the vast space, each step imprinted on the ground, still wet with dew. Behind them was the Mara River, where hundreds of souls had fallen. Ahead was the new pasture of hope for the next generation. In the wind carrying the scent of earth and rain, life continues, and the Serengeti begins a new cycle of existence, where death nourishes life and life continues to nourish death. When the first drops of rain hit the red earth, the Serengeti will no longer be the same. The rivers will overflow, the fields will turn into seas. And in that water, crocodiles, hippos, and hungry people are waiting for their moment. Don't forget to ring the bell, subscribe, so you don't miss the next wildlife survival series.